This is my 3UZ. I figured I'd make a video just to, as a way to document and something I can look back at, and maybe it'll help some people out. So some background, I have a 2013 Tacoma TRD off-road, and the plan is to swap this in. This is a 3UZ from a 2004 to 2006 Crown Majesta. It's an aluminum block, 4.3 liter. As far as I know, not many people have swapped in a UZ into a second gen. I know a few. More of them are 4.7 liters. So out of first gen Sequoias and Tundras, it was also, the 2UZ was also offered in the second gen for a very short period of time. But not many people, at least I only know of one in Florida that's done the aluminum block. So there are some differences. There's a guy on YouTube, his name's Ian Johnson, pretty well known in the off-road industry, and he put together a series for the 4.7 liter. He also retained a manual transmission, which I plan on doing as well. Mine is a 6-speed manual, so I'm hoping to retain some of the components. But like I said, I'm going to document this. Maybe it will be useful to some people. I'm trying to use as many OEM parts as possible. I've already encountered some things that I wasn't necessarily aware of and took a shot in the dark. So I figured, again, I'm going to document this. This is the kind of the intro video. I don't know how long the swap's going to take, but it's not going to be very smooth or instructional. I'm just kind of going to speak my mind, and as I'm working through this, a lot of the stuff I'm going to do initially is just maintenance items, but I'll include whatever I see. I'll try to mention it. One thing I forgot to mention: this is a JDM import engine. So, like I said, it's from the Crown Majesta, which was only offered in Japan. It may have been offered in other places, but I had picked this up at a JDM import warehouse. There are some differences in terms of emissions and connector styles that I'm going to have to be aware of, but I'm planning on trying to convert things over to USDM to make parts more easily accessible. One thing I do want to preface is that this is my first engine swap. I haven't done anything like this before. I've done a lot of the work on my truck myself, but this is something new to me. So it's going to be a learning process. With that being said, I want to treat this as an open forum. So if you do have any comments, suggestions as we kind of move through this, feel free, of course, to post below. There's a lot of information that I haven't gone over yet. I've been looking into this for maybe a little bit over a year now. But again, yeah, feel free to post below. I'm open to suggestions, things to keep out for, or keep a lookout for. If you are, familiar with the UZ platform, again, I'm still learning. There's stuff that I'm sure I've missed. So yeah, looking forward to it. So here's a short walk around, kind of what we're starting off with. Like I said, this is a 3UZ, so 4.3 liter aluminum block. Came out of what I believe a 2004 to 2006 Creme Majesta. This is a 6-speed. You can tell by the throttle body. You can also tell by the ECU. The ECU has 2 bolts on the back side as opposed to 4. This engine has between 50 and 60,000 miles, which I believe is typical for the import engines. There were 3 variants. You have the 1UZ, which is a 4-liter V8. The 2UZ, which is the 4.7 liter, and this is the 3UZ. I think overall it's pretty clean. Definitely dirty in some areas, but we'll be cleaning it up. A lot of these hoses were cut, so I'm gonna have to figure out part numbers and figure out where they go to. So we're all pretty clean. If you go over here, this is actually the transmission I'm going to be using. So this is an R155F. It came in the 2nd gen for the 4-cylinder. This is a 4x4 transmission, 5-speed. What you can see here, so I've already put the adapter plate on. I can walk through these parts a little bit later, but this is an adapter by XAT Racing. They make an adapter for all the we'll just call it the R150 transmissions, which came in the Tacoma and 4Runner, maybe some other variants as well, but I'm not fully aware. This bell housing is actually from a LX 470, a manual or an automatic transmission. But any of the automatics with the UZ, I think there are some bell housings that you're not going to be able to use, but this one specifically is from an LX 470, I believe like 2000 to 2004. Forget the exact year this one was out of. I just picked it up from eBay. The transmission I picked up from a junkyard and then gave it a coat of it's like Seymour aluminum paint. It actually turned out really nice. I don't know if I'll be able to be coating anything else with it, but here it is if you're curious. It looks super clean and almost brand new. So we'll see how it holds up. Overall, it was already, the transmission and the bell housing were already pretty clean. So I got a little setup. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to do maintenance first, but here's some of the parts that I've picked up. This is a valve cover gasket, so left and right side, also for the valve cover, just seals for the coil packs. These are seals for the bolts themselves. I picked up some spark plugs. Here's the part number. It should be the same, what I believe is the same spark plug for all the UZs. So Denso, I tried to use, again, OEM parts or at least the supplier for OEM. This box here is for the intake manifold. So there's gaskets in here. Let's see here. Talk about this one here. So part of the issue is my truck is 4-wheel drive, and this is, I would consider this might be their rear sump for at least the 3UZ variant, but I'll call it like a mid sump. There's not just a steel oil pan, but there's also this aluminum casting on top. My issue is clearing the differential. Like I said, Ian Johnson did a swap like this, and he ended up ordering a custom oil pan, which I don't necessarily like. Let me see if I can set this up. Maybe I can. So this here, sorry the light's bad. This one here is actually from a GX 470. It's got the steel oil pan, which I could put some bolts in, and then the aluminum casting. Like I said, this is from the GX 470. The 4.7 liter was also offered in the 4Runner. I forget what years, maybe 2005 or 2009. With the V6 and 4.7. This is a GX 470, which is four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. The rear sump. So I'm hoping, again, I don't have confirmation on this, and this is the point of sharing some of this information, is this will replace that whole casting in the steel oil pump, just like since it's a UZ series. And again, theoretically, this should be able to clear the front diff, depending on the placement of the engine. So I'll be swapping this out. Again, this is something I want to share with everybody, because I haven't seen anybody that's done this before. So that's what this is here. So I'm going to show it here. So you got the steel oil pan part and then the aluminum casting. If I walk back over here, you can see you've got the aluminum casting, so you can see the RTV, or Toyota's got their specific that I'll be using. So if I swap all this out, there's already a provision for the dipstick, which I've picked up, and then I've got the dipstick for the 4Runner. I've got the dipstick tube for the 4Runner, as well as the oil pickup. Those are all OEM parts. And here I've got injectors, and I can walk through which ones I got. Those were remanufactured Denso units, and were all tested within 2% flow of each other. I've got here's the sealant right here that I'll be using, the FIPG. And then I've got the starter, Denso starter as well, and that one's a remanufactured unit, but Denso's a supplier for Toyota. I've got the oil pump and timing belt that I'll be swapping, replacing while the engine is out. One thing I did get, and maybe this is an issue this was on me for not testing, but I was hoping to use the 4Runner engine mounts. I've already taken them off this block, but you have 6 points here. The 3UZ uses a 4-bolt style engine mount, and the 4Runner it spans all from one end to the other. The bolt pattern is unfortunately not the same, and the mount for the 3UZ in all variants, models, use an aluminum mount. Because this is an off-road vehicle, I'm not going to use the aluminum mount, so I need to unfortunately come up. I don't know if I'm going to do an adapter or fabricate my own engine mount. One thing I would like to do is make sure I use the rubber isolators for the 2UZ. I'm not a fan of poly, it's very stiff, and if you replace poly, then you gotta replace with poly, you gotta do all other components within that system, or you're you might have potential for failure. So that's it for now.